It is the Riot. Hello.
Obi's back in the studio.
I wonder, I had people that didn't even notice.
You know, it depends. Some people would say they would notice, and then literally right after someone would say, Obi sounds weird. You know, like it depends on your perception of him, I guess. It was very odd.
I had family members that I talked to that had no idea I was not in the studio, and I didn't bother telling them.
Well, for the last couple of days, Obi's been remote, but he's back in today.
I am. So here's what I got for you. In the podcast, we talk about the Golden Girls, Walmart, Superhot, Peacock, 30 Rock.
Stop.
The Lego Nintendo console, Chipotle, Riff Tracks, Rose Bowls.
Riff Tracks and Stranger Things. I almost said Silent Planet. That's one of our bands.
It works.
I wish.
It works. And a few other things in the mix. Mm-hmm. So, you know what? We sound probably stronger than ever.
Good to have you in.
Good to be back.
You know, it was nice to still do the show with you by way of a small telephone screen.
Yes.
But it's nice to have you back.
Oh,
and that's what I miss the most. The yawning. Yeah. The realness.
Like it was a challenge to do it remotely.
Yeah.
I like being here more than there. But I do like sleeping if we could figure out a way. I'm telling you, that's the number one obstacle between me and the Riot is just getting some sleep.
How do we not have this be a morning show, which is entirely what our thing is?
That's all there is.
Well, thank you so much for listening to the podcast today.
All right, you guys have a great one. Bye.
The definition of insanity is putting the Riot on again and again and expecting a better result. It's the worst of the Riot on RadioU.
Nikki, have you ever heard of The Golden Girls?
The Golden Girls?
The TV show?
Yes, I have.
It's actually kind of weird how that's a really old show.
But it's still it's like a cult classic.
Right. Well, the house from that TV show is now available for sale.
Is it just the outside of it?
You know what? I said it was in Florida. That's not right. It's in L.A. The show was supposed to be in Florida, but the house itself was in Los Angeles. Only $3 million.
Well, that's a steal, isn't it?
I'll tell you.
Depending on what area you're in, that means it might not be a very big house.
Also, this may shock you, but apparently it's just the exterior of the house.
The inside is not.
That was a set. So when you walk in, you're going to be like, this is not Blanche's bedroom.
Well, did they show the exterior shots a whole lot? Or was it maybe just in the intro or the opening?
Now, I hate to disappoint all of you, but it's been a hot minute.
You don't know that answer? We'll have to look it up on YouTube or something.
With the Golden Girls. I don't know. I remember Blanche.
Yeah.
I remember that name. But if I told you why I remember that name, you'd be like, oh, yeah.
Well, I didn't know if it was known, like, what's the other ones? Like the Brady Bunch. Like, that was more, I guess, an iconic
house I could pick out.
Or like, it's Fuller House now, but it was Full House, right? In the beginning? Full House. Like that, you know what the front looks like.
At some point in my life, I could have picked out the Breaking Bad house. But at this point...
It's gone.
If somebody doesn't throw a pizza up there, I'm never going to pick it out.
So it's something you can't remember anymore.
Yeah. But at $3 million, I'll tell you this: I'm looking at the property. I think you and I could do very well there.
Is it pretty?
Yeah,
it's a nice house.
Oh, it's been so redone. So it has. Oh my gosh, it's back. It's got like a back. It's not a deck, but it's like a patio. Mm-hmm. But imagine a patio that is larger than the house you live in now and is covered.
Oh, that's lovely.
So
that sounds nice. It has an outside house.
It does. It does. It actually, it's
you have an
really
inside
nice.
House and an outside part.
So, I mean, it would be perfect for me to go outside and do my reading.
Yeah, when you retire.
I could put an extra charger out there in case I forget mine.
Now, if we're going to go retire there, we need to find one more roommate, don't we? Because don't you have to have, is it
at
3?
At least 3, yeah.
Yeah, it's 3.
Well, for 2 of us, we could just avoid each other, but that third person will help keep churning the drama.
Yeah, you need to have a couple more people in there.
Really don't like the color choices on the inside, but you know what? That's
changeable. That's what do they always say in the shows that I like to watch? Like, that's just paint.
That's just paint.
We can change that.
It's just paint. Look at the bones. Pay attention to the bones.
Obadiah and Nikki tried their hardest, and that's what really matters. This is the worst of the Riot podcast.
The mask debate continues, and by debate, I mean beating each other to just bloody senseless online with our terrible, mean words.
Well, you're not supposed to look online about this, guys. We're just not supposed to.
Okay, so I'm talking about this for a couple of reasons. One, Walmart and Kroger both came out yesterday. Walmart, you know, Kroger, if you don't, Midwestern grocery chain. They're the ones that are saying it. I don't know if that will mean they're part of a larger company. I don't know if the other parts of that company will have to, but they're saying starting on Monday to come into the store, you must wear a mask.
I thought I saw Sam's Club as well, though I'm not sure if Sam's Club already has to wear it because Costco does, but I'm not sure. If not, it's also around Monday too.
Yeah, so they are two significantly large chains. They're going to make that. The other thing is yesterday, the governor of Ohio, Governor DeWine, who has been a lot of people consider him to be a leader in response to the pandemic. They say that Ohio has kind of led the way in a lot of ways. States have followed suit based on some of the things Ohio has done. He had a press conference yesterday. I'll tell you what, people in my feed were furious about that press conference.
About what he said, or?
Yes, which I don't understand. And I'm not just saying that. Like, I really don't get it because I was like, yeah, he asked nicely.
Well, they treated it
like that.
They didn't like. They were saying it seemed like, you know, you were being reprimanded, like your parents were, like you were in trouble with your parents, and then others were really mad because it felt like there wasn't anything to it, and you made this whole big thing, and you should have made more to it. So no one's happy. No one is.
So in reality, he sat down as if he was in charge of something. Oh, he's the governor. And said to everybody, hey, I'm asking nicely, please wear a mask. And everybody got mad about it. And I was just like, what? I don't know. It's fine. In fact, my thought walking away from that was, you know, since you ask nicely, sure.
Better than telling. Yeah. When you tell, sometimes people have more issues compared to if you just ask nicely.
Yeah, I felt like he asked nicely. A lot of people felt like they were being talked down to. I didn't feel that way. I was just like, all right, okay. All right, I'll wear a mask. It's fine.
You were doing that anyways.
I was. So I was just like, it's fine, whatever. Man, I had friends last night that I thought they were going to explode.
Really?
I mean, I kept...
People are passionate about this. Again, one side or the other side. They're just very passionate.
About... Okay, again, see, this just shows you where I'm at.
You don't want to. This is going to stir it up. Don't stir it up.
Like, I'm not trying to, but to me, I'm just like, who cares? Like, how... Okay, I got to wear a mask to go to the store. How often are we going to the store? Do you know what I'm saying, though?
I understand.
How often do you go to Walmart? I go as little as possible. I try to make up reasons not to go to Walmart. So when you say to me, you have to wear a mask to go to Walmart, you know what? You could take the pandemic off the table. And I'd be like, you know what? That's probably a good idea.
It's fine.
It's filthy here. And there's crazy everywhere. And I don't want to catch it. So, I mean, sure.
No problem.
But a lot of people not feeling the way I do about this. So
everybody just needs to take a step down, take a step back, and just calm down a bit.
It's fine.
But again, that's both sides. Everybody's angry on both sides of the fight.
Yeah, like
it's a lot.
I'm not calling anybody out here. Or maybe I'm calling everybody out here, saying like we just need to. Woo.
Sure, I understand what you're saying.
Maybe I'm just not. Well, no, we know I'm just not that mad about it. Maybe I need to get upset, Nikki. I need to get upset.
They even make morning people want to reach for the snooze button. It's the worst of the riot on Radio U.
Today is a special day, everybody. Now, many of you are going to be like, I don't even know what you're talking about. But today, Nikki, the sequel to Superhot is released.
What's Superhot?
Superhot is probably one of the best video games of like the last, I don't even know how many years. So here's the idea. Maybe if you look at games at all, maybe you've seen it. It is this game where it's like this bright white environment and the bad guys look like red crystal guys coming at you.
Oh, I've seen the art for that. Okay.
So here's the idea. It's this game where time only moves if you move.
It looks like thermal imaging.
And so what happens is that it takes the idea of a first-person shooter and turns it into a puzzle. So like when you squeeze the trigger on your gun, time leaps ahead a whole bunch. But if you walk, then time moves ahead kind of slowly. As they're shooting at you, you have plenty of time to dodge out of the way of their bullets, things like that. So Superhot VR was probably my favorite virtual reality game.
Came out in 2016.
But what they have done is today, Superhot, there is a virtual reality version, but then there's also just a regular, plain old Superhot that you can play on your Xbox or your PC or whatever. And today the sequel releases. It's called Mind Control Delete. And if you had purchased Superhot, you get it for free.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It's just waiting on me when I get home. It was free.
So is it considered an update then, or a new game?
It's considered a new game, and they say that it's bigger than the original.
Well, why are they giving it for free? Is this a trap? What are we doing?
I don't know.
What are we doing?
I don't understand everything about it.
Like, why is it free? What's the catch here?
What's the catch? I don't know, but I'll tell you this. I'm going to check it out.
You are?
Yeah.
But you don't have virtual reality anymore, but you, like you were saying, you can still play it.
This is not a virtual reality game. They released Superhot VR, and then today, Superhot Mind Control Delete. And as you finish each level, you hear the guy go, super hot, super hot.
Nice.
I'm telling you, I know it sounds dumb. In fact, you could look at it and go, this looks dumb. No, it is so much fun.
Well, people loved Superhot. It's very highly reviewed. It's considered to be a very good game. So that's shocking that if you have Superhot, you can just have the second one. Mm-hmm. And that's a bigger, newer game.
Yeah, so I'm going to be checking that out either today or tomorrow. I'm going to try to... I don't want to commit to it, but sometime between now and this weekend, I'm going to try to do an Obadiah Plays stream with that.
Oh, yeah, you haven't done that in forever.
It's been a while, so I'm going to try to do that this weekend. Really good stuff.
Yeah!
You were one of the lucky few who missed the riot when they were live. Yet here you are.
I also like to live dangerously.
This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
So, okay, here's the way it works. NBC as a network kind of owns itself. It's almost like franchises. So your local NBC affiliate, whatever it is, they buy into the network. Mm-hmm. They get their programming, et cetera, et cetera. But your local channel can choose whether or not it wants to air network programming or not.
Yeah.
And so
normally it does.
It almost always does. But in this particular case, the local channels are saying, look, this is just a big ad for your online service, which is going to pull viewers away from us and onto Peacock.
Yeah.
And so there are a ton of NBC stations across the U.S. that are not airing
the 30 Rock
special.
Well, the 30 Rock special tonight is not a 30 Rock special. It's a 30 Rock people who played characters in the show hosting a show about the upcoming NBC fall schedule. That's all it is.
Well, but they're in character.
Yeah, but it's not a long thing. It's just they're going to be interrupting, and you can watch selections from those shows.
Yeah.
It's just a big thing.
I was excited about new 30 Rock.
Yeah.
And once they unveiled it, it was just a wah.
Well, everybody wanted what they did with Parks and Rec, which people seem to really like that approach.
Right.
But that's not what the plan is for tonight. It really is selling the new Peacock app, and it's selling the fall schedule.
Though I'll have to admit, Alec Baldwin back as Jack Donaghy might...
But you're talking like it's not going to be much. It's like a skit. Think of it like they're doing a skit tonight.
Somebody is going to edit out the video I don't care about and give me just the 30 Rock parts on YouTube tomorrow. That's all I want to see anyway.
You're fine. You don't need to watch tonight.
That's all that I want to see.
One day, a heroic time traveler will go back in time to make sure none of this ever happens. Until then, it's the Worst of the Riot on Radio U.
Look, I don't really watch a lot of TV, and yet I become fascinated by TV programming, content, whatever. So when they say that they're starting a new streaming service, I become interested.
You always want to check it out, and you might like it. You might be surprised.
So with HBO Max, I did nothing but make fun of it, and I have found it to be probably my go-to streaming service, aside from YouTube, of course.
Because that still counts as one, too.
Right. So there's that. And again, HBO Max, I have really liked. Peacock, It was actually my response to HBO Max that made me more open to the idea of Peacock being something good. That's the new streaming service that went public yesterday from NBC Universal.
And I don't know why, but with the HBO stuff, I felt like that was a countdown for a lot of people, or you just were pushed that. Like, I'm still pushed that all the time.
Oh, really?
But for Peacock, I saw nothing going into it. I didn't see a lot of ads on it.
If I did not do this job, I'm not sure I would have even known that it existed. And so yesterday afternoon, signed up for Peacock. It's got a few different options. They have a free option. Then they have a $5 option that lets you see anything on the service, but you see it with ads. And
even
then,
the premium stuff?
Yes. But for $10, you get rid of almost all of the commercials. There are still some commercials on some content.
Are they commercials or their own like promos, like promoting their shows and stuff?
They're commercials.
Well, then why wouldn't the $10 one get rid of all of them?
I don't know. I think that has to do with some broadcast stuff.
So like someone might have bought a commercial time on a broadcast show that has to then go with it if it's digitally being watched.
So I think it's for that, like for new stuff. So like if you're watching, like for example, you can watch the Today Show live. I don't think you can get rid of commercials there. I think you have to watch them.
That makes sense. But as far as like the streaming shows and stuff, there's options.
So I went through it yesterday, just honestly looking for things that I would like to watch. And I'm not trolling. I'm just being honest. I couldn't find almost anything.
Not a show?
No. I did watch the first bit of Brave New World. I am a fan of the Aldous Huxley novel. I have yet to see a decent adaptation of it, and this is no exception.
So pass on that?
No. I knew Brave New World, if you read the book, it is full of sex. But if you read the book, it is not gratuitous. And in fact, it's more like, look at how far society has fallen that this. But I knew.
They're not doing that look at it for the show.
Right. And so I didn't know what I'd be in for. And no. Sorry, guys. I'm out.
There's this old show called King of Queens that I used to love to watch.
Right.
And then it's on the service. It's like, oh, okay, great. I'll watch it and I'll sit through some commercials. It's not available unless you have the premium one. So I told Obi, it's like, you wish you could undownload it and like take back your email address.
Yes, I don't want them to get credit for the fact that I looked at it.
Because we looked at it and then that was it. So if you like more NBC stuff, then you might enjoy if you're a fan of those shows. But that was Peacock, which debuted yesterday.
I was like, if you like Law and Order or Chicago Fire, you're set.
You might enjoy these shows.
But I mean, just like the movie selection I found to be not good. And the TV selection, again, it feels like trolling, but like there hasn't been something on NBC I liked pretty much since 30 Rock.
Yeah, but it's not just
and
their
even
shows.
that was an outlier.
Like it has,
I know.
It's got their
other stuff
their
too.
family of channels, but just depends on what you like.
Do you like Downton Abbey or Parks and Rec or Friday Night Lights?
Is that what they're promoting on the main thing?
Yeah, it is.
You're looking at it.
But I mean, again, I just felt like, okay, when I go join a streaming service, I want to, after a while, I keep scrolling and I'm like, there's so much here. I felt like with this, it was like, scroll to the next page. You're like, and no, that's all.
Yeah, just nothing.
No.
Oh,
so
well,
I
didn't need another one anyways.
No, I didn't. But I went all the way for their like full $10 thing, 7-day free trial. I canceled within an hour.
So you didn't want them to accidentally charge you?
No. I was like, I want to make sure we get rid of this.
Using advanced technology, we've digitized and transcoded Obadiah and Nikki into a purely digital format. This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
In these trying times, we find ourselves very much... Can you guys hear it?
They're working... They're working outside our building. They're like tearing up the parking lots. And I don't know if you guys can hear it on your end. We can still hear it in our headphones, but there's going to be a lot of noise for the next few days. They're working on it through like next Tuesday.
We're probably going to have to shut down. Like, I don't know if I can.
Hey, sorry, boss, we can't come in. The guy's out there. What's that called? Like a little construction thing. What is it called?
I don't
It's
know.
not an ATV, but like, what's the little? What's the little?
A forklift?
It's not a forklift though. It's a bulldozer. Does that
Okay.
work? Is that
Yeah,
it? It's a
come on.
bulldozer. He's just out there bulldozing. He's just doing his thing.
Just what he does?
Yeah, it's fine, but it's loud.
Do you think that, first off, that guy makes more money than we do?
I
Just so
don't
we're-
know. It is
Yeah,
a
no,
specialty
he does.
job.
He does.
So probably.
Right now, he's making more money than we are.
Yeah.
1. 2, do you think that's fun? Like operating a bulldozer? Because I'll tell you what I imagine.
Tearing stuff up? Yeah, it is.
I imagine like putting on some headphones and just being like, I'm wrecking crap all day.
You can have so much fun with that.
Like, what are you doing? Now, I'm not saying there's no skill involved. I'm not. I am in no way undercutting the skill required. But at the end of the day, he is still knocking stuff over and digging stuff up. Like, that sounds cool.
It does, and they're all out there doing that. Corey and Andy, thank you. It's a skid steer sort of thing. That's what it's called. And yes, that's what he's out there doing.
I don't know. It's a bulldozer
It
still,
was
kind of.
so loud yesterday that the windows were shaking in the building because they just had this. I don't want to describe this because I'm having a hard time describing things, but this really long, huge thing that just ate up the ground. Totally ate it up.
Nice.
So it's a process over there.
It's awesome.
But by next week, we should have a nice parking lot.
See, from like people like us, the normies, like we don't know how that stuff works. I saw where a friend of mine in Vegas, they have a big area where you can pay to go out and just use those machines.
Oh, you can?
Right.
So kind of like learn what it's like?
It's like a theme park thing where you can go to Vegas and drive a really fast car, or you can drive a skid
Construction
steer.
equipment. That's awesome.
I know. That's what I thought. I was like,
Well,
dude, I kind of would be up for that.
You know how we're in our room just doing our thing here for the show. I didn't want to go outside and be like, hey, guys, could you keep it quiet while this show's going?
Just
we're
for a couple
talking
of
about,
hours.
the new Peacock app. We're talking about that and other things.
Could you guys not start working till it's really hot outside?
That's the word.
Could you guys, like, right now, I'm sure it's probably the best time to do this work.
Which is why you're here early.
If you guys could just wait until it's super hot, that would be great.
Thank you. So then, because you're interrupting us.
Yeah.
With your equipment.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, guys.
So if you hear any of that, that's just next to us. So it's fine.
I feel like I opened the blinds. I feel like I need to go shut them again because it might.
Yeah, we won't notice them as much.
Because it might. And maybe it'll get a little bit of the sound. Just like a little bit.
Nope, they're all out there. You can just say hi to them. They're back
Their
in that
faces
corner.
Pressed up against the glass. Hi.
Well, they're not staring at us. They're just out there working.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay. It's fine.
But if you want to go out and drive one of the pieces of equipment, there he is. It's a Bobcat.
How much do you think I would have to slide him for them to let me to just take a spin around the parking lot?
I bet you they would let you.
How to survive the riot. Do the complete opposite of everything they say. You're listening to The Riot on Radio U.
Remember when they started the lockdown and we just ate whatever we wanted?
Oh, yeah, and everybody was gaining weight. It was fine.
And now we're all like, oh.
Well, that's because as things eased up, it was supposed to be like, well, I can't fit in my pants anymore to go outside. Your outside pants, and you needed to lose weight.
Well,
Not like your comfy pants.
Just to be clear, that's a phrase I love. Outside pants.
Well, the ones that were for everybody else that you're not wearing for yourself, but you're wearing for show.
I'll tell you what, I hit a point over the last couple of weeks. I've been wearing what I consider to be my inside shorts outside.
Oh, you have been?
Yeah. I'm just wearing, they're just athletic shorts that I normally either only wear them to the gym or maybe wear them around the house. And I'm just like, you know what? Forget it.
And I think, at least here, the dress code is so relaxed that you're like, I can wear leggings or just, things that don't button. And that's the key.
I don't know how I landed on that when I wanted to talk about the Chipotle rice that's coming.
How did that work?
Well,
From one to the next one.
I actually know how it works. I've just been thinking about how what I really want to do is just go out and eat whatever, whenever, all the time. That's where I'm at.
Well, see, this is where I like when restaurants will try their take on a healthier alternative.
Sure.
Because the Chipotle, they're going to test a cilantro lime cauliflower rice. When they do it, it's got so much stuff added into it that it'll taste good. When I make cauliflower rice, it tastes terrible. So I want to see what their take is.
So they call it, Nikki said it, a cauliflower cilantro lime.
And that's going to be their new option that they're testing. It'll have fresh chopped cilantro, lime juice, salt. So it'll be for vegan, keto, all the
Paleo,
other diets. Yeah, all the diets.
Whole30.
All the ones.
All the ones. That it's one of the most, according to Chipotle's chief marketing officer.
Yeah.
And we're just his mouthpiece now. It's one of their most requested menu additions.
So does this mean Chipotle or someone could come up with like a cauliflower burrito? Like, I want to eat the burrito, but that's the worst part. I want the tortilla.
Can't you do that? You just take a burrito and then you take the cauliflower, you glue it together, and then you just eat that.
Cauliflower is an
We need a
interest,
bonding agent.
which is what bread like.
That's what bread is.
That's what it is. But yeah, you would need something else.
I do love bread.
Isn't it delicious?
It's wonderful.
Eric gets 2 burritos, like 2 tortillas when he gets one burrito.
Really?
It's extravagant. Extravagant. And that's an option. It's just you get an extra tortilla with it. And it's like, why? I feel bad enough having the one, and he adds a second one.
I appreciate it, Eric.
Because he gets like extra steak, and so it helps to have 2 of them.
Hey, listen, I don't want to be, that guy, but I remember a time when you go into Chipotle and they'd have to give you a second burrito because the burrito was so big. You never ordered extra steak because there was so much steak in there to begin with.
And then they started weighing everything, counting everything. They fell from, grace, like it was just bad. But they're going to try the cilantro lime cauliflower rice.
Remember when we weren't eating at Chipotle because of the norovirus? And we were like, I don't want to poop myself to death. And now we're just like,
fine.
Coronavirus, I don't care. Just give me the cilantro.
So they're not sure if this will make it. Again, it's not in every location. So it's not going to be a nationwide release. They're not sure, but they say that it will most likely become a nationwide thing because it is so requested.
Do you think, do you want to get out there and hunt for it?
I'll look online. They're building one a little north of me that'll have a drive-through.
Well.
I think it is. It's registered to them, and it has a drive-through in the construction phase, so I assume that'll be it.
Maybe it's going to be half Chipotle, half Burger King.
I don't think they own anybody else to do that.
I know, but just...
That's like a KFC Long John sort of yum brand.
But Chipotle isn't one of those.
No, they're not.
I don't know. I just see it happening.
If you're looking for all the funny moments you missed during the riot, we apologize. You won't find them here. There weren't any. This is the worst of the Riot podcast.
Nikki, did you know that yesterday was the Nintendo Entertainment System's 37th birthday?
I did not know that. So is that the
original old school NES 8-bit Nintendo Entertainment System? It just turned 37 years old. To celebrate that, or maybe it just happened to be on the same day. The people at Nintendo and Lego have teamed up, and they have announced that they are going to be releasing the starter course. I'm sorry. The starter course playset is what's they've already announced. This is the new NES Lego Nintendo Entertainment System. It is a replica of the original Nintendo, made out of Lego blocks.
That you build. And then it also has a replica game cartridge, replica controller, and TV. And on the TV, you'll get a chance to see Mario jumping up and playing the first level. It's nothing like I thought, because I think it was a few months ago, Nintendo and Lego unveiled that they were having a partnership coming, but they wouldn't show what was going to be available in the first set of Lego Nintendo package.
Right.
And I never thought it'd be anything like this. This seems way more involved than what I thought.
I'm going to say something that's not going to be popular.
What is it?
I think it's dumb.
You do?
I do. And I'll tell you why. It is, are you ready? $229
for this set of stuff.
Yeah. That, it doesn't do anything. You would be better off going on eBay or something, buying a Nintendo, a remanufactured Nintendo shell, and setting it up on the counter or in the curio cabinet or wherever the heck you're going to put this thing.
Yeah.
And it would be $30 or $40 at the most.
Yeah, but Lego stuff costs this much money. This isn't actually bad compared to some of the other Lego bigger sets that have a company with them, like a partnership.
I get what you're saying, but to me, at least with Lego, most of the time, you are building something that doesn't exist in reality. So, like, I've built the Simpsons house, the castle from Frozen, the Ghostbusters firehouse, these things that you couldn't buy that and put it in your house. It either doesn't exist or it's hugely large or whatever. In this case, they are asking you to build a Lego replica of something that you could easily, with minimal effort, go buy and have the actual working item
version
instead of the Lego version that is smaller and does nothing.
Sure, but people like Legos, so I'm sure they will still pay this. So the console does not play any games, but there's a buildable TV, like Obi mentioned, with a tiny Mario figure and a crank. So the crank will slowly move the level in the background of the TV. The kit will also come with a special action brick that can be scanned. If you have the Lego Mario, that'll be a part of the starter course playset. And then if you activate it, Mario will react to enemies, obstacles, and power-ups as they slide by on the screen. So that's
not good enough.
So that's all that it offers. And it's, again, $230 for the first big collab from Nintendo and Lego.
And you know what? It's going to become a collector's item.
Oh, this thing will go for a lot more money than that.
People are going to be doing anything and everything they can, climbing over each other, beating each other in the head so they can get their Nintendo Lego.
So actually, you'll be lucky to get it for $230 because you might have to buy it from someone else. But that'll be on August 1st.
No, I mean, I get the Nintendo Classic, where at least it played, 20 or 30 games. It was expensive. It was $100, but I got that. This, for $230, it sits there.
And remember, you even have to build it. So that's the harder part.
Nah.
Is it healthy eating so many snacks, chips, and Oreos every single morning? No, of course not. But they do it for you.
Too many guys got the stomach for this line of work.
That's real love. It's the Riot on RadioU.
Chicken, licking.
Yeah, good.
No, that's a thing they say at Hattie B's when you get your chicken. They say this thing when they give it to you. I can't remember.
So Hattie B's is a place in Nashville that has hot chicken. Now, hot chicken for many years is no longer just out of in a Nashville thing. It's been everywhere. I think once KFC does your flavor, then it's nationwide.
Well, it's kind of like the whole idea of the buffalo chicken wing.
Yeah.
Where there's that flavor out there, but it's become really dissociated with buffalo.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, maybe not. Maybe we could argue the subtleties of wing flavor all day. But
I like Nashville hot. It's a good flavor.
It really is fantastic. And the people at Lay's are introducing. So they're doing that thing where they do the 5 flavors. And I think this is a voting thing, right? So one of those flavors is going to be Nashville hot chicken. There are 4 other flavors in the mix. Carnitas street taco.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't interest me as much.
That could be good.
The Philly cheesesteak.
Hello.
Yeah, is that the one? Is that the one?
I could do with that.
Chile, is it supposed to be relleno or relleno?
Okay.
I don't know
I'm
which
not
one
sure
it is.
either.
And then kettle style, New York style pizza.
Yeah, that could be good.
I love kettle chips.
And the New York style pizza, it's the water. So what did they put in this chip?
I don't know. But that, of the 5, for me, the hot chicken's at the top, followed by
the pizza?
That pizza one. Because, again, I love a kettle chip.
Yeah, I could do the Philly. I like a wavy, thick chip.
Yeah.
So if any of them come in wavy, let me know.
Let's see. Wavy is the Carnitas street taco.
It's going to be the one that I wasn't as interested in.
The Philly cheesesteak just comes in a standard
chip
Lay's
thing?
potato chip.
Yeah. So those will be out, and then you can vote on them. It's the same thing Lay's does each season.
Yeah. But, new flavors, new opportunities.
I could do all this. We got to start looking for them. I think Monday we should be doing our Pringles taste test. We've got the sweet corn and the Wendy's Baconator Pringles.
Yeah.
But then after that, we should start looking and trying to collect all of these chips.
They're only at 2 places.
Walmart.
Yep.
And Target.
Nope.
Walmart and bigger Walmart. Does that count?
You guys couldn't see me roll my eyes.
Super Walmart, drive-through Walmart, what?
7-Eleven.
7-Eleven. That means nothing. It means nothing to us.
We don't have a 7-Eleven near the studio, okay?
Not near us. We must do Walmart
it's like
now.
30 miles away.
Oh,
One time I drove the 30 miles to get a limited edition Superman cup, which goes to show you how stupid I really am.
Fine, we're splitting it then. We're going in halves. You take half of the chip pile, and I'll try to find the other half.
The other, we're here. What we do is that it says that these are coming out at the end of July, which is not now.
Yeah,
this
but they
is
might
mid-July.
be.
But no, that's how we end up taking trips we don't need to take.
Actually, what I will be doing is that I'm just going to go to Walmart's website and order them at the end of the month and then pick them up.
Well, what I was going to say is that we just divide in half. I could go to that Walmart,
and
you could go to that one, and then between the two of us, we FaceTime.
That's a good idea.
See if we find them.
You're right. I will send Eric to the other Walmart. I can send it.
It must be what it's like to be a wife. You have a manservant.
No, you don't, but he's happy to go in.
You have labor that you can commit to a project.
I've got
another friend of mine. She was talking about her husband, and she was like, yes, he'll be available for that.
Yeah.
And I was like, you haven't even asked him.
No, but he likes it.
You didn't say, would you be willing to do this? You just assigned it to him.
No, he's fine because then he can go in and he can get what I was looking for the show. But then there's all those other snacks and drinks that he can just partake of while he's in there. He's fine.
Well, Nikki, you can't muzzle an ox while it's plowing the field.
Correct. What an analogy there.
I'm just saying.
That works.
If you missed out on the next Riot moment when it originally aired, you don't know how lucky you are. You're listening to the Worst of the Riot podcast.
You guys know that I'm a fan of Mystery Science Theater 3000. If you didn't know that, now you do. And you're like, I don't even know what that is. Okay.
Well, now you'll learn about it.
It's that show with the little silhouettes at the bottom of the guy and the robots making fun of the movie.
I don't even know if
that's
even
too
sometimes.
much. It's on Netflix. I'll just stop there. It's a bunch of guys making fun of movies.
So they watch the movie, but you see the, behind their heads, and it's people and then like little robot characters.
Yes.
It used to be a way old show and then was a podcast thing, and then Netflix picked it up for a while. So it's been around for a long time.
So there's that. Now, some alumni from Mystery Science Theater went on to start their own thing called Riff Tracks. Now, Riff Tracks, same deal. People making fun of a movie. In some cases, you can buy the movie directly from them. In other cases, you buy an MP3 and you listen to it while you watch the movie yourself. Yeah. I'm giving you all of this backdrop to tell you about what they're going to be doing this, let's see, when's July 22nd? That would be this coming Wednesday. So 6 days from now at 8:30 Eastern, you will be able to log into this Chrome extension called Scener, and they are going to do a live free riff on Stranger Things Season 1.
Oh, that'll be fun.
So, not the entire season. I think just the first episode.
Sure.
But you have to have a Netflix account because they're not paying for you to be able to watch it. But they are doing the riff for free. Mm-hmm. I think I'm in for that.
That could be fun to watch.
And what if it sucked me back into Stranger Things, Nikki?
I always talked about when 2 came out and then even when 3 came out, I was like, I really should go back and watch the first season to see how does it hold up? Because that show to me, it feels like it hasn't been out for a while, but
it's been around for 5 years or something.
It's been around for a long time. Yeah. It just doesn't come out very frequently.
Well, I mean, what did we get season 3 last year or was it 2 years ago? I think it was July 4th last year, right?
I can't even remember. It's been so long.
I think it was.
But then it got pushed back, and so it feels like longer.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, you got the riff track if you want to at least enjoy that.
I've lost track of time, Nikki.
It all blends in.
It all blends together now.
You're listening to a morning show hosted by 2 people who absolutely despise getting up in the morning.
Will you give me a break one time?
The Riot, RadioU.
So let's talk about things that are closing, guys. Bad news for your New Year's Day. They have canceled the Rose Bowl parade.
That's an early showing on that one.
Yeah. Well,
I bet they probably have to start planting the flowers.
Maybe not the flower. I wasn't thinking about the flowers.
Well, no,
but
for the parade, for the floats and stuff. Like, people would have to start working on those things.
Well, some of what happens is, it goes like this. That parade, it's not all this, but people go from all over the nation to be at that parade. So high school marching bands and different things like that. Same thing. Now, we haven't heard anything yet, but the Macy's Thanksgiving Day parade.
Oh, I wonder about that. Or maybe...
Same thing.
Yeah, and it's not just like... Because at first, you're like, well, just let them have the parade, but you can watch on TV. But they're talking about the concern of the crew and the people who are in the parade for their safety as well. So not just... taking away the audience lining the streets, but that is a concern too. So
this is the first time since World War II that it's been canceled. It was canceled between 1942 and 1945.
The Rose Parade?
Yes, because of the war.
Well, I didn't want to tell them, but I never watch each year, so technically it's always been canceled.
The only time I've ever watched is when I had a family member marching their band was in the parade.
And then you would watch? Well, that'd be nice to do. But
there may have been this thing where I didn't even know that there was a parade on New Year's Day.
We always just thought Rose Bowl, but yeah, the parade is something too, but it's canceled this year.
Yeah. Now, the Rose Bowl, maybe it happens.
No one wants to talk about that one
Nobody
yet.
wants to talk about it.
Everybody's keeping very quiet about that.
That's where the money is.
They're waiting till the very end on that.
Hide the money.
Follow the flowers. Right to the money.
That's the one that everybody's not so sure about. And believe me, the player's safety counts for something.
Yeah.
But I mean, if they can sacrifice a couple of players for the money, they'll do that.
So locally, for our headquarters, and if you are a Pumpkin fan nationally,
RadioU Circleville, Ohio.
They also closed and said that they were not going to do the Circleville Pumpkin Show this year, and it will return then in 21, but not going to be this year.
Not if that comet takes us out.
We're not going to have anything.
Yeah.
At that point.
Well, I mean, with that comet, Earth is canceled. So, but we don't know.
They're just taking it one thing at a time. So no pumpkin show.
Just so you know, I don't have any confirmation on that comet. I just feel like it's out there.
You feel there's something else that they're either not telling us about, or it just hasn't been discovered yet that it's coming.
It just feels like there's a comet out there biding its time, waiting for a chance. Seems reasonable.
I don't know anymore.
Yeah.
But I really enjoy. We would always go to the pumpkin show every year, Obie and I.
Always go to the pumpkin show.
It's kind of sad to hear that, but better to be safe.
I'm not going to get my pumpkin donuts. I'm not going to get my bourbon chicken. I'm not going to get that indigestion that happens later.
You always get a sick stomach, and we look forward to that. That's tradition.
It's all part of the process.
It is. It's a tradition.
Well, all right. Bummer.
This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
So while some things are canceled, Nikki tells me other things are going full steam ahead.
Well, I didn't know how in touch you were with hashtags and what's trending, but yesterday started Bear Week on TikTok.
Woo!
Yay!
Bear Week!
But no one else is cheering. I can't feel you guys cheering. Please start cheering.
Bear Week!
So it's weird. Their week goes like a Wednesday to a Wednesday, so it goes till next week, the 22nd.
Sure, so it's like a fiscal year. It's made up.
Something, but if you're on TikTok, like we all are, when we should be sleeping at night and when we should be working, Bear Week is just basically the hashtag, so you can watch. From Alaska, they have live feeds of the salmon jumping, and so the bears are normally there.
Just in case the bear would happen to come along and grab one.
You can watch the bears in Alaska through a different feed.
Oh, I found it. Here we go, Nikki.
Bear Week. And TikTok. Oh my gosh. I watched so many bear things last night. I just went through the hashtag. It was the best night ever.
Oh my gosh.
Remember the waving bear from, southern part of Washington, the bear that waves at people when you drive through? I watched him a ton.
I don't remember, but
You
okay.
don't?
No,
Oh,
I don't.
watched everything. Remember the TikTok that was popular a few weeks ago where the guy was on the porch and the bear just walks by? Remember that one?
No.
Get on the hashtag, will you?
No, Nikki, no.
Don't tell me that you don't like bear
I
stuff.
don't want, I hate to be this guy, but that's not the reason I like TikTok. I like the stuff you send me on TikTok that's not bear related. It has a tendency to be mostly, I think, bathroom related and people throwing up. But
I think you'll enjoy that the most. I don't bother you with the bear stuff, but I appreciate it.
let's not take that away from anybody. But
So, Adam, thank you for texting in all caps, Bear Week, with lots of exclamations. So if you're on TikTok, it started yesterday and goes to next week.
okay. Well, Nikki's like, this is better than Shark Week, man.
It is. Thank you for finally doing something like this.
Get me some Bear Week. And, the nice thing about TikTok is with Shark Week on the Discovery Channel, they have to fill a half an hour or an hour. TikTok, they got to fill, 5 to 15 seconds? No big deal.
This is short and sweet. It's perfect.
Plus-
Unless you want to just watch the live feed of the salmon with the bears.
Yeah. Plus, this, while you guys are all watching these TikTok videos, China is quietly data mining you and preparing for its inevitable, takeover of the United States. Wealth transfer. Read about it.
I don't care. It's Bear Week.
Nikki's like, wealth transfer, hashtag Bear Week.
You can have it. Just go ahead. Thank you for finally having a week that I can enjoy.
My epic bloody angles.
Oh, wait. I want to say hey to Justin.
Stop everything. There's bear talk.
There's one more.
Stop everything.
Justin it was so cute. He sent me one yesterday of this bear walking down the road, and there was a construction cone, and the construction cone had been turned over, so the bears were walking down the road. He turns the cone and puts it up.
Shut up.
And then he just walks
Shut
away.
up.
He knew that the construction cone was supposed to be standing
He was like,
up.
this isn't right. I'll fix it.
It's so cute. It was
You know what?
so sweet.
That right there, that just goes to show you that bears could work if they wanted
It
to.
could. That's a good
But
bear right there.
Those lazy bums sleeping all winter, they could be cone people.
They could be the construction crew, picking up the cones after the stuff or putting them out. But yes, Justin, I did see that. I loved it.
You know what? If they can do cones, they can do that thing where they hold the stop sign and
Well,
then
they can
switch
do
it to the
hugs
slow
then.
time.
They can hug me.
I gave during the last fundraiser, and all I got was this crappy morning show. This is The Riot on listener-supported Radio U.
So, Nikki, I believe it's out. I should have double-checked this before I opened my mouth. Ghosts of Tsushima. Mm-hmm. It's a new game for PlayStation 4. That is out July 17th. So tomorrow is when that releases. A lot of people really excited about that. And in a season where everybody's like, we'll just postpone that. We'll postpone that. Sony has delivered. They had The Last of Us Part 2 that came out I guess it's actually been almost a month ago. And then this game, this is basically the last PlayStation 4 game from them. Before the big one.
Before the console release?
Yeah, and that comes out tomorrow.
The console release. It's so cute.
What if it happens?
I know. What if? Maybe
you know what?
it will.
I'll tell you this right now. I was reading an article that said that Sony has actually doubled down on PlayStation 5 production. They're expecting to have twice as many units as launch as they originally thought they would.
Because everybody's at home?
I don't know.
I think you actually will get a console because of the effort that has been put in, unless something worse happens.
The Comet.
We're leaving that open. Who knows? There's a lot of chances for a lot of, believe it or not, even worse things to happen. Unless things were to get super, super worse, they've put so much into still convincing you that it'll come out for the next PlayStation and even for the Xbox that I think they actually probably will come out.
Yeah. I mean, the real question will be, will you be able to get one? How high will demand be? That's what I want to know, because it's that weird mix of, unemployment has bounced back. So numbers are better than they were, but there's still a lot of unemployment. There's still a lot of uncertainty. And sometimes we don't know how much, but let's say it's $500. Sometimes $500 looks a little better in the bank account than it does on Best Buy's receipt.
Sure.
When you're trying to make sure you have the money you need, et cetera, et cetera. I'm just kidding. Nobody's going to say money, be responsible. You're all buying it.
Well, like this summer, it's been hard to find like a pool. And I'm even talking like a blow-up
Kiddie
pool.
Yeah.
Like for grown-ups, it's been super hard to find things to keep us busy this summer because we need it.
Yeah.
And I know that that's going to translate into when it comes to the fall and they're like, well, you should really lay low. And into the winter, they're going to be pushing this stuff hard to keep you busy. Just like the Switch in the spring sold so many Switches.
Right.
Because that was like the thing to keep people company during quarantine.
Well, I want one. Like, I want a PlayStation 5. Does that mean I'm going to get one? I don't know.
You won't be able to say no.
I don't know.
If it comes out, I don't think you can say no to it. The pull is too strong and you're too weak right now.
Oh, don't say it like that.
Everybody is. We all just want something
You're
to...
weak, just like your mother.
No one added that part.
No, I know,
just to
but
keep
it just
things
felt
busy.
like that. That thing where, you yell,
You won't
weak.
want to go outside and miss all the things that are canceled when you're busy inside.
This is why you're never going to amount to anything.
Now,
you're weak.
If you're hearing something else, I just meant we're weak when it comes to buying things.
Isn't that what she said?
Nope.
Oh, okay. It was just me.
The Riot Podcast. RadioU.
I was thinking... We keep laughing about it because that's my coping mechanism. But, I mean, really, it just feels like crisis after crisis, right? Like it just, at this point, I keep joking about the comet, but would you even bat an eye? You'd be like, oh, yeah. Yep. The comet that has a nuclear missile riding it.
Well, it feels like you'll never get a break from it all.
Right.
Or if you did, it would only be a temporary one and then even worse comes right after. It's hard to let your guard down.
So that's really good, Nikki, because that's what I found is that as things keep popping up, I'm just like, all right, whatever, just pile it on. And I've been thinking in terms of like, I'll just do whatever it takes to cope. I'll do whatever it takes to keep going. I'll just do that. And one of the things that I find is like one of the first things to go is taking time to talk to God about it. I'm like, God, I don't have time for us to have our little emotional moment of like all the feels. Like, let's get to work, right? But, here's the thing about God is that God is the one thing that you will do to cope that really makes things better. I mean, it's been a joke, but it's not a joke. Like, what do we keep doing in this crisis? People are reaching for something to drink. People are reaching for something to eat. And we've laughed about the COVID-19 or whatever, but like we've seen the results of some of our unhealthy coping that we've been doing in the middle of these crises. Let me be abundantly clear. I'm not saying this to beat up on me or anybody else. But what I am saying is that the one thing that we can do to cope that has only good results is that we could take some time and ask God for help. And I'm also saying for me, that is often the first thing to go. I just forget about it. I'm like, God, I got to get on this other thing. I got to do whatever. But it's the first thing we need. Jesus wants to get involved where you are with what is going on. And I know that sometimes it's not super exciting to sit down and be like, God, I'm afraid, when sometimes a Swiss cake roll might seem like a better option. Well,
did you really?
Well,
you're right, but really?
But you know what? Take a minute today. And maybe you never have in your life, or maybe it's just been a while, or just say, Jesus, come into my life, fill me with your spirit. And would you show me how to live even in the middle of this crisis? God is freely available to you, no matter where you are, what color your skin is, how tall or short you are, what you've done, what's been done to you, whatever. There's forgiveness, there's healing. God is available. So you do not have to go from crisis to crisis on your own. God is going to help you with this stuff. Don't cut yourself off from it. I do sometimes. Let's agree not to do that together.
Hey, so what do you think of Obadiah?
The truth is, he's not a very nice person.
Okay, well, what about Nikki?
The very best there is.
You're listening to The Riot on RadioU.
Okay, I'm starting to... do you know...
Why do you have scratches on your arm? Where did they come from?
I have weird marks all over my body. Like,
I know. You must have done it when you were sleeping.
I guess.
Probably.
So what, in my sleep, I'm like deeply scratching myself all over? Like,
No,
I've got weird. I finally figured out that I was apparently I kept cutting the back of my leg, couldn't figure out how I was doing it. And finally figured out that it's the back of one of my car doors.
Yeah.
And it's just a scratch, but it's always big enough that afterwards I'm like, what? Like, when did I even do that?
So at night, I think it looks like you were scratching your arm probably. You have a nail that needs trimmed is basically it.
But look I bite my nails constantly. They're fine.
Why? They shouldn't be able to do that. You don't have a cat. It looks like you have a cat, actually.
I know, it looks like it. What if I have a cat?
What if one's in your house and you don't even know about it?
And like I'm always dealing with allergies and sinus problems. And it's because there's a cat that lives in the attic.
And cats a lot of times at the most inconvenient time want to spend time with you.
Yeah.
Which is at night when we're sleeping.
Ceiling cat is watching you sleep.
Yeah, my cat pops into bed all the time just like, hey, and just wants to hang out.
Yeah.
So I bet one could be, and then it's scratching you.
Okay. It's weird. They kind of hurt.
Well, stop touching them.
Well, I mean, I need to now.
No, you don't. Do you have in your Obi carries a medical plastic baggie
Got a lot of things in here.
with various items in
Got
case?
some Aquaphor.
Yeah, do you have like some Neosporin or something?
I got some tissues.
Do you have any Band-Aids? It seems more than a Band-Aid. You need an ointment.
What I need is I need to update my bag, my medical bag.
You need something new. You didn't know you need that in there.
I need some Band-Aids. I need some Pepto. I'm out. I need some, what else did you, some Neosporin?
Yeah, so I think if you look in the...
Some alcohol wipes.
I think if you look into the... someone else would be like, just put alcohol. You're like, no, alcohol
I got a
wipes.
bottle of vodka, just pour on stuff.
Well, it probably would help your cuts. But I think if you look in the break room, underneath the kitchen sink is a first aid kit.
I don't want to steal from our first aid kit. I want to build my own.
You want to have your own in your bag.
Little DIY.
Well, get some ointment.
My bag's weird. I have this morning when I opened my bag, I pulled out a radio broadcast microphone. I got cables of all kinds. 2 different pairs of headphones, 3 face masks.
It's a big bag, but it seems like you fit more in there. Like it's a magic bag.
Bigger on the inside.
Yeah, like it's like, how do you get all this stuff in there? And it doesn't look overwhelming.
It's my personal TARDIS.
It's something.
That's right.
All right, well, yeah, it's on your arm. You have scratches over there.
It's fine. But I'm not worried about it.
No, just because you don't know where they came from, and there's quite a lot.
And sometimes I wake up at night and I don't know where I am. But I don't have to worry about it. It's fine.
Yeah, you're good.
I mean, like, I would only worry. Never mind.
Too much?
Too much.
Too much.
Thanks for listening to the Worst of the Riot podcast.
Oh no! I missed it! Do it again!
You can hear us live every day on the RadioU network through the RadioU app or at riot.radiou.com.
You know what? I'll tell you who the big bag is in this room.